Well, welcome everybody. Welcome to our 13th annual graduation. I'm Liz Anderson, and I'm the Executive Director here at PAALS. I am so excited that we are having this in person, given what our world has been the last couple years. So thank you all for being here. I really appreciate it, and I know our clients do as well. Just a note, we are live streaming this, so if you would like to tell your family and friends to get on paals.org/graduation, they can get on there right now and start watching. If you didn't notice, like I just mentioned, we've had this pandemic going on for almost 2 years now, and I am so excited to see so many amazing individuals today. I'm also excited to be able to live stream our event for the first time for those at home and also be a part of this incredible event. I appreciate everyone's willingness to be mindful of each other's safety and health, especially for the individuals we serve. So thank you all for wearing their masks and showing your vaccination cards or getting tested. I really appreciate that, so we can all be safe. I'd like to thank several people before we get started. I want to first thank our board of directors and advisory board. So if you are here, could you please stand? Don't be bashful. Please give them a round of applause. They all work very much behind the scenes tirelessly, and I could not do this without them. So thank you so much. I also want to thank our volunteers. We have several that are here and several that could not be here with us, but the countless hours you've all put in, especially with this pandemic going on, is invaluable. For every dog walked, puppy fostered, kennel cleaned, phone call made, auction items solicited, and yes, for every piece of poop picked up, you've helped make today a reality. Yes, we could totally thank them. I'd also like to thank the PAALS staff. If they are here, could they stand up and wave? Some of them are in their PAALS gear behind you. They have been amazing. This staff is small but mighty, and I always see everyday dedication by them and the love that they have to make days like today possible. Thank you guys for staying strong, supporting each other, and working so hard during some of our most challenging times. I would also like to thank our sponsors, especially for our 2021 graduation. We could not be here without you guys, so thank you, Wolfline. Thank you, McDaniel Subaru, Palmetto Citizens, Tito's Vodka, Scott & Company, Capital Supply, Jack and Dora Ann McKenzie, Dr. Randy Basinger, and Dr. Louise Burpee in honor of our PAALS valued veterans, and Drew Stevens. I also want to thank our corporate sponsors that help us throughout our year, every year, Team Gomez Foundation, our Eastern Star representatives, St. Andrew's Animal Clinic, the Hood team, Rob Wilson Photography, and Creative Art Development Department. Thank you guys so much, because again, we wouldn't be here without you also. I'd like to thank my family and friends who have continued to support me during this journey. One of my friends told me the other day, "Don't stop retrieving." But that's the kind of humor we have to do to get through some of the challenging times. So I'm very grateful for them, and I love them so much. I would finally like to thank Jennifer Rogers, our founding director of PAALS. Most of you know Jen well and understand the trust she has to give someone to let them rein on her sleigh and give them the reins, and that's what she did with me, and I'm so grateful for her. She's helped me behind the scenes in many ways, and she's helped our staff in many ways during this pandemic. She's been an incredible mentor and friend to me through this challenging time, and I'm really grateful that she continues to be so involved with PAALS. Jen and her family were not able to be here today, but they sent a message to all of us, and I want to play that right now.
Hi, my name is Jen Rogers, and I'm the founding director of PAALS. My family and I would like to welcome all of you to the graduating class of 2021. Whether you're there in person today or celebrating remotely like my family is, we want everyone to know how important it is that you're here to show the support that these teams greatly deserve. I had the honor of being able to work with several of our teams that you're celebrating today, some virtually and some in person. And I can tell you, watching them overcome some of the obstacles that a global pandemic presented was nothing short of inspiring. Their success at being here today is nothing short of an abundance of effort and love, not only by themselves, but also from our staff, all of our volunteers, and all of our supporters. Because our co-founder, Chuck over there, had to have surgery, we're not able to be there for the first time ever. It's a bittersweet time for us, but we didn't want to miss the opportunity to congratulate our newest teams for PAALS. And from our family to all of yours, we'd like to wish you a happy holiday.
So, I hope she's watching virtually and she heard that applause. She did really want to be here, and again, otherwise she would be, but let's all keep Chuck and his family in prayer. So today, you will meet our newest PAALS teams, our newest family members. You will learn about how their new teammate is helping them face this world in a new light and wake up to face the day confidently. These individuals are inspirations of hope and action. So without further ado, let's meet our 2021 graduates. First up, we have Jane and Weedy. They are a mobility team. Jane and Weedy unfortunately could not be here today because of some serious health concerns that Jane came with. So instead, Jane and Weedy sent you a message as well. So please enjoy.
Hi, my name's Jane Mattingly, and this is Weedy. I'm so sorry we couldn't be there today, but I wanted to send this video and share a little bit about how Weedy and I have been exploring the world now. We are at a doctor's appointment right now, and that's one of the ways in which Weedy has really given me so much independence. out in the public, out in the world, and at home, giving my husband peace of mind when he's at work and I'm working from home. Weedy just gives me so much more independence and mobility. I can get off the floor much safer. He picks up all the things that I drop. About 3.5 years ago, I became disabled and chronically ill and have undergone several surgeries. Weedy has been there for 3 of them, but I realized I needed so much more help with my mobility, getting things, and he's become so intuitive that he now even alerts me when I'm experiencing pain or having some spinal headaches. He's really just the sweetest boy. I'm so grateful for him. He's become a part of my family and a part of my journey medically. My doctors appreciate him so much. One thing that I think is really cool is PAALS and Liz will joke how he was kind of a funny looking puppy. He was a little scraggly and really, they called him like a street dog. And he's really grown into his own and is so handsome and charming and caring now. And I feel like I can relate to that too. I'm growing into my own as someone who is disabled. I was incredibly able-bodied and considered myself very healthy up until 3.5 years ago. And I'm really finding my own with his help. And I think it's kind of cool that we were matched, because I certainly was a little bit more awkward a couple years ago. And he's really helped me find confidence and independence as someone with a disability and someone who lives with chronic illness. And I just feel so supported, and I'm so grateful for PAALS and my guy. And yeah, thank you so much, and I wish I could be there.
I really hope at some point you guys can meet that team, because that is an incredible woman right there. So next up, we have Meredith and Champ. Champ and Meredith have only been matched since early November, but their bond is strong, and you can see it in Champ's eyes when he looks at Meredith, that he's got her back 100%. Everybody, please welcome Meredith and Champ.
All right. Can everybody hear me? I was told I need to project. I'm not a projecting kind of person. I'm pretty quiet usually. But also came up without my shoes. I decided at the last minute that was just going to have to be the way it was going to be. Yes. So it's so good to be here. As you heard, Champ and I, we've only been together now for a little over a month, but seems a lot longer than that. So I would like to start with just saying thank you. A whole lot of thank yous. I'm very grateful. And so My people, I'm so thankful for my people. I have a handful of them here today, which I'm super grateful y'all could be here today. And those that couldn't be here today, just really grateful for the love and support and the encouragement that y'all have continued to give me through this entire journey, and will continue to give me through this entire journey. And also an organization that really has been a huge part of my life over the last, I guess going on 7 years now almost, but Life in Abundance. They really came along beside me during this journey, and really us, and we're an us now, and so they've been huge, and so really grateful for them. Also want to say thank you to PAALS, all of you guys that, of course, the staff, Liz, it's been so great to get to know you, everybody, Jen, I'm glad that y'all know me, and you know that I have a problem with words. And so, I know that Sydney's name is Sydney, but it just wasn't coming. So anyway, Sydney, I love you. I love Kahlua. And so I'm grateful for all of y'all. Edith, every single one of you. Please know that if I didn't say you by name, it's not because I'm not grateful. I'm grateful for what you do, for the volunteers. I can't imagine just how much you give, and so thank you for the privilege that it is to be chosen as a PAALS client. It is a privilege, and so I'm grateful for that, and I'm really thankful for the passion that y'all have for what you do, because it really makes a difference. It's not only made a difference in my life, but clearly so many. So thank you for that. And I want to thank Champ, my newest battle partner here. He really is the perfect match for me. It's kind of funny because, for those of us that go through this process, we know that we do some speed dog dating. And, I didn't get it. I didn't see it. I do, of course, now, and I'm so glad that they know what they're doing, because he is just the perfect match for me, and he got zero choice in his human whatsoever. But I think he's doing really well. We are enjoying our time together. So, why did I apply to PAALS? I know that there's a nice write-up kind of bio in your program, so I won't go through all the ins and outs about why I'm here. I do have MS. That is something that I've been living with and dealing with now for really since I knew in 2013, the very beginning of 2013. So life has looked a lot different since then. Thankfully, with physical therapy and lots of other things, I'm able to live, physically in a better place than I have at sometimes in the past. So that's good. I have 2 children. I'm a mom of 2, I guess, adults. How does that happen so fast? I have a 22-year-old son and I have an 18-year-old daughter. And so I knew that as my daughter was getting ready to go to college, I'm going to live alone. And so that changes things a lot. And I'd considered a service dog, but I just would not take that last step to, really make it happen. But something happened, and it really lit a fire under me. And I just was like, you know what? And I found PAALS. I went to the internet, the World Wide Web. You can find all kind of things there. And I'm so grateful for you guys, because y'all are right here in South Carolina. Because so many of the organizations that I looked at, and of course needing to have a mobility, that's not something that every organization offers. So it's been a blessing. You guys were, of course, I said, I'm going to go with them. This makes sense. And I'm grateful that I got to be chosen. And it's really such, I think there's a relief, there's confidence, there's a lot of things. And of course, we're new. I would say that we have settled at home. We got home on November, I don't even remember. It felt like a whirlwind. Training camp is boot camp, And like one of the PALS client teams that we got to listen and hear from, she was so helpful. But she told us, she was like, if you can survive this, you can survive anything. And I think she was right. I'm kind of still recovering. Champ is settling in and doing really well. I love how y'all do what you do, because I think it just shows in the way that they adjust, the way that they are able to do the things that they do, going into different places and having the change that they have, that y'all clearly are really good at what y'all do. So I'm thankful for that. Thankful to have this battle partner here. I have several battle partners in my life, and I'm just thankful that he's the one that stays with me like all the time. As Liz mentioned, and as I have noted on, we are still a new team, but Champ's already impacting my life in some really good ways. Thankfully for him, he gets to do one of his very favorite things quite often, which is retrieve. I drop things a lot. Just a little while ago, as I was standing up to go over to the other building, I didn't realize that I had his tree pouch in my lap, and so it hit the floor. And he actually retrieved his treat pouch, and he did not get anything out of it. I know that was a really big ask for him, because if you know Champ, you know that he is highly motivated by all things food. And so he's such a great boy. So he gets to do he just gets to get things for me all the time. Sometimes in the mornings, it's funny, I usually unload the dishwasher in the mornings, and I will drop dishes, and that's one of the things I don't ask him to get for me, because they're clean dishes, you know. And so he looks at me though, like, what are you doing? Like, why are you bending down and getting that right now? Like, that's what I'm here for. So he's just great. I just love him so much. He also pushes me to keep moving. A saying that I've said for a long time now, it's like, you either move it or you lose it, you know. And as long as I can move it, I want to keep moving it. It's hard. You have to push yourself through, bad days, really bad days, and pain and different things like that. And he, I don't get to just say, well, I feel bad today. I'm not even going to move off of this couch. And so I really, really, really am grateful for that. And another thing too is just that he loves me really well already. Love it's patient, right? And he's so patient with me. Bless his heart. Y'all, I'm telling you, because I forget things, and he's just okay. She's going to be all right. And then sometimes I get the words really wrong. You got to watch this, and he's like, she's going to get it together. But just this past week, he was snoozing. So, he'd had his breakfast. He'd had his morning free time. He was doing really good. And he was in a place of just, I am sleeping. He had a little snore going on. And I was kind of processing some things, a personal issue, and needless to say, there were some tears involved, but, he just immediately was head in my lap, coming to see me. He just knew, like, he was that in tune. He went from, I am snoring over here to, let me come and kiss you on your nose, and I'm going to lick one of those tears off your cheeks. So, there's really not, how can you put that into words? You can tell a story and say that, like, the privilege that this is absolutely, it's priceless. And so I just look forward to getting to do life with him. So thank you, everyone, for everything that you do to make this possible. It truly is a life changer. Thank you.
It's always a show watching Nikki, our program dog, bring the diploma to our clients. So thank you, Harvey and Nikki. Okay, our next client is Jim and Scout. Unfortunately, Jim and his and his wife unfortunately caught flu-like symptoms, so they are not here today. But I will tell you, they also shared a video with us. Scout came to us as an older dog. He was already 2 years old, and he came to us through another organization in Michigan. And they were overrun with dogs, so we went and got a couple to try to train them. And while his birthday proves he's 2, this dog is like a 6-month-old dog all the time. Very energetic. If you know Scout, you know what I'm talking about. But his love and affection and sharp skills prove that he was perfect for the job with Jim. Jim is the chaplain at South Carolina Department of Juvenile Justice, and Scout is now his partner during his counseling sessions with the kids. So I'll let him explain a little bit more about.
Sorry that Kathy and I and Scout aren't able to be with you today, but the flu has hit our home and we did not want to share that love with you. I want to thank Jen for her amazing passion and vision of starting PAALS, for Liz and continuing on that dream, and for Sydney, who was PAALS trainer for Scout. She did an amazing job at preparing him to serve the youth at the South Carolina Department of Juvenile Justice. Sydney said that Scout and I were the perfect match, and when she first said that, I thought, cool, Scout, down. Good, sit down. When she first said that, I thought, hey, cool, everybody loves golden retrievers, but then I thought, well, everybody doesn't love me, and might be some people that don't like me. But I thought, well, maybe Sydney was thinking of something else. Maybe Sydney, when she said we're the perfect match, Scout has a tendency sometimes to be a little bit stubborn, and so do I. Scout only listens to me, and sometimes I only listen to me, and Scout will do anything for a treat, and so will I. So maybe Scout and I are the perfect match. My educational background and passion for life is in philosophy, and Plato said, the heart of a dog is the heart of a philosopher. So Sydney was probably right that Scout and I are the perfect match. PAALS and the South Carolina Department of Juvenile Justice, they share a common word in their mission statements. That word is empower. At SCDJJ, we're about empowering youth for the future. It seems in some regards that dogs have a better ability to empower youth for the future than humans do. At the Colorado Correctional Center, they had a marked reduction in BP and anxiety among inmates that had weekly interaction with dogs. In Nevada, the recidivism rate, which is the rate of reoffending, they get out and come back in, the average recidivism rate in Nevada is 28%. But with inmates who have weekly interaction with facility dogs, that rate goes all the way down to 5%. What humans, counselors, social workers, clinical chaplains like myself, can't always accomplish, it seems that dogs have the ability to do so. Marie Roland, the French revolutionary, said, "The more I see of men, the more I love dogs." In Scout's work already at SCDJJ, he is making an incredible difference in the lives of the youth and the staff. One of the first young men that we counseled together, this young man lost his father 2 years ago. He lost his mother 2 months ago. And his younger siblings, they were dispersed throughout foster care across the state. He can't even get in touch with them. If he were to get out today, he would literally have no place to call home, no place to go home. At the end of our counseling session, I asked him, I said, "So what do you think about having Scout in here with us this week in counseling?" And he looked at me and said, "Scout made me feel like I was home." We had to give a death announcement, Scout and I, at our facility. An officer had unexpectedly died in his sleep, and he was close to the youth. And when Scout and I showed up, one of the employees was there, and she looked at me, and her lips were kind of pursed, and she said, "I'm not a dog person." My first thought was, "I don't like you," but I smiled anyway and said, "That's okay." After she saw Scout work with these youth for about an hour, saw him comfort them, work his cues in calming them, as we were leaving, she looked at me and said, "Every DJJ facility needs a Scout." It's funny because when I used to pull up to the gate at work to go in, I would hear, "Hey, chap, how you doing this morning? Good to see you, chap." Not anymore. Now it's, "Hey, Scout, how you doing, Scout?" I guess I've become Scout's arm candy. Even though humans are the highest of God's creation, Scout has shown me that there are some things that dogs can do that humans can't. Mark Twain, in a note to Albert Payne, said, "If heaven went by merit, you would stay out and your dog would go in." Something about that rings true. Every morning of team training, the start of the day, Jen or Sydney would ask us a question that kind of opened up the conversation for Meredith and Van and I. And that question was kind of a personal question. And one day, the question was, and I paraphrase, something to the effect of, "What song represents your life?" And Van and Meredith gave, I don't remember the songs, but they gave, some very sweet song, I'm sure. Both of them are incredibly sweet people. But the first song that came to my mind was Toby Keith, "I ain't as good as I once was, but I'm as good once as I ever was." Well, after 30 years of traveling around the world and serving people in over a dozen countries and serving the Lord, I can honestly say I ain't as good as I once was, but with Scout, I'm better than I ever was. Thank you, PAALS. I want to thank my sweet wife, Kathy Mann, for introducing me to PAALS, for showing me the power of a dog to change lives. And Scout and I are committed for the rest of our days to change lives at the South Carolina Department of Juvenile Justice. Thank you, PAALS.
Jim and Scout are our second dogs in the South Carolina Department of Corrections, and we're really excited, and we hope to continue to grow that relationship. So thank you, Jim and Kathy, for doing that video. I know you're watching at home. Okay, next I would like to introduce Van and Angel. Angel and Van had a romance at first sight, I would say, from the moment they met, really. Angel is already breaking down some of the barriers of PTSD for Van, and they are facing the world together as an incredible team. Please welcome Van and Angel.
She was going to make sure that treat was close by. Again, to echo some of everything that's been already said, I want to thank PAALS as an organization, their staff, their leadership, their board, for all that they do, not just what they've done for me. Meredith, when she was speaking, she brought up the subject of dreams. About 3 or 4 weeks after I heard that I had been accepted into the program, I had a dream. And it was the night after Angel and I had done a walkthrough at Home Depot as part of the speed dating process. I fell in love at first sight, and I think she did too. I dreamt about her that night. And the day that we found out who was going to be our companion, I was just 100% positive. I knew in my heart that it was going to be Angel, and it was. I'm very grateful. I want to ask Liz a question. Have you watched the video yet? I'll tell you a little story. When I sat down to meet her, had no idea which dog was coming through the back door, and Angel came in, and she literally leapt on me just out of the blue and kissed me all over. It was heartwarming. It was very special, and it was the start of a wonderful relationship for which I'm very grateful. I'd also like to recognize and thank my husband, Mike. He's done yeoman's duty. It's very difficult for him to ignore her and not to give her a lot of energy. So he's been the dud parent since she came home, and it's a tough role for him, and I'm very grateful. Thanks again to everyone.
It's never perfect. They are still dogs, you guys, but it makes for good laughs. Thank you, Van and Angel. Okay, and last but not certainly least, we have Liz and Valora. Valora and Liz are two peas in a pod, as I'd say. They are both very active. They have already taken several trips together. For example, they just literally got back from Hawaii like 4 or 5 days ago. Valora gives Liz the independence to go out on her own and know that Valora is there to help her get back up when she needs it. So everybody, Valora and Liz.
everybody. I'll just warn you guys now, I am both a fainter and a crier, so no guarantees here. But that's why we have Valora. Like Liz said, we were recently in, oh, it works. We were recently in Hawaii over Thanksgiving, and my family and I were talking about all the things we were thankful for. She's trying to make me cry already. And Valora was the top of our list. She has completely changed not only my life, but also my family's. I promise I'll get it together. But anyway. I know. 3 years ago, I had a sudden onset of a condition called PAALS, pastoral orthostatic tachycardia, and it's a form of autonomic dysfunction. And so I went from being a healthy, active mom, new master's graduate, to being completely disabled. So it caused me to faint all of the time, and it was pretty debilitating. But with lots of specialists and medications, I got to a point where I could get out and do things but still not have total freedom. So that is where Valora comes in. Before Valora, it was really scary to go out by myself. I never know when I would faint, and I would never have a clue, and so it would be anxiety ridden to go places, not only for me but also for my husband and my daughter, worrying about me. So I just didn't go places by myself. So now with Valora, we can do things together. And so I texted Liz the first time since I'd been sick. I went to Charleston, and my husband had a business meeting, and he was like, "Why don't you just stay at the house?" And I'm like, "No, I have Valora." And so Valora and I got to go shopping. And it was so exciting. We had dinner by ourselves. But it was the freedom. So I just want to thank everybody who helped get Valora to this place to help me. And thank you for my family, my parents, and Liz and all the trainers and everybody, because she really has and continues to make all the difference in my life. And we're able to travel, and we even run. She saw her in her running vest up there. Things that I could never do by myself before, I do now with Valora. So, thank you. It's okay.
Thank you so much, Liz and Valora. I knew one of you was going to make me shed a tear. Okay, I got it. Okay. So that is our 2021 class. Can we give them a round of applause? I'll tell you, it is not easy coming up here and speaking. So I'm very proud of all of you. I'm proud of our clients who didn't make it and did wonderful videos. So you guys rock. Thank you for that. And thank you for sharing your story. Okay, so the next part of our graduation is usually very exciting for everybody, but it's also kind of the most chaotic. But before we get to that, we have a surprise announcement. Our newest PAALS trainees were born on November 23rd. And I want you guys to have a first look at Bindy's litter of 9. So surprise to that. Those are our newest dogs in training. I want to thank Louise and Randy for housing them and whelping that litter. And in January, they will be at PAALS training. So look out for them. Okay, so I would also now like to do our annual graduation practice walk for all of our PAALS dogs in training currently, because they all want to one day be up here graduating also. So the fosters should know what they're doing. Just be aware that we're going to have lots of dogs on the stage here, and so it's going to be fun and hopefully lots of laughter. First off is I want to bring up, it's okay, Nikki and his awesome foster, Harvey. Nikki is 6 years old and 9 months. He's a Labrador Golden Retriever. Y'all can do better than that. Give him a round of applause. Nikki is one of our program dogs, so he has the honor of doing this every year, bringing and delivering graduation diplomas to our clients, and we love him. Next is Madsen. She is accompanied by Joan and Craig Corey. Are they here? Oh, they're coming. All right, they're coming. Madsen is our Golden Retriever. She's also one of our mamas. And she has lovely decor on because it's that time of the year. So, but she's still beautiful. Next, we have our newest program dog, Mr. Icon. And he is accompanied by full-time foster, Miss Tracy Saxby. Icon is a 3-year-old Labrador Retriever from Canada. Welcome, Icon. Next, we have Renwick. Is Renwick here? Yes, she is. And she's accompanied by Tracy Davis. Ren is a 1-year-old, 9-month-old Labrador Retriever. She is also another breeder of ours. So welcome, Ren. Next, we have Miss Joan, and she is a 1-year-old, 3-month Labrador Retriever, and she is accompanied by our foster, awesome Susan Hagedorn. Welcome, Joan and Susan. If you can't tell, I'm going from oldest to youngest, so it's going to get fun in a second. Next is Joan's sister, Saucy. Saucy is 1 year and 3 months also, and a beautiful Labrador Retriever, accompanied by foster Amy Herring. Welcome, Joan, or Saucy and Amy. When you put those two together, I can't even tell them apart. Next, we have Murphy. Murphy is a 14-month-old Golden Lab mix, and he is accompanied by our awesome foster, Mr. Keith Frere. Welcome. Isn't he beautiful, guys? We next have Liberty. Liberty is 8 months old. He is a full Golden Retriever, and he is accompanied by awesome foster Chris Fink. Here he comes. He's a handsome boy. It's getting fun now. Next, we have Miss Courtney. Courtney is our Eastern Star puppy, 7 months old, Labrador Retriever Golden Mix, and she is accompanied by foster Ann Baez. Welcome, Courtney. Up next is Courtney's brother, Grant, and just FYI, Courtney and Grant are Madsen's puppies. So, yep, it's getting fun up here. Okay, so Grant is also 7 months old, a Labrador Retriever Golden Retriever mix, and he is accompanied by foster Amy Granger. Come on up.
Next, we have Miss Amy. Amy is another 7-month-old Labrador Retriever, and she is accompanied by Miss Nancy Harvey, one of our awesome fosters. Here she comes. Amy is a full Labrador Retriever and full of cuteness and naughtiness. Next, we have Miss Evie. Evie is short for Evelyn. She is also a 7-month-old pup. She's a Lab Golden Retriever mix. She's beautiful, guys. And she is accompanied by Foster Kay Conway. Welcome. Are we running out of space? Awesome. Great. All right, and up next we have Mr. Charlie. Charlie. He is a 6-month-old Labrador Retriever accompanied by the amazing foster Elizabeth Chambly. And our youngest that we have right now is Miss Saluda. Saluda is a 4-month-old Labrador Retriever accompanied by Sherry Jordan, who is a foster and our board president. Okay. So let's all give a big round of applause to these future graduates and their amazing fosters. Okay, so I would like to thank you all again for coming to our graduation or watching it live if you are watching it live. You are the reason we are able to continue changing lives for the better. If you want to find more ways to help or find ways to start helping and being more involved, please find a board member or a staff with a PAALS shirt on, and we can help answer any questions you have. I also wanted to lastly thank First Lady Peggy McMaster for being here. She's one of our honorary board members, so thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to be here. I really appreciate it. Thank you guys again for celebrating, and I hope you all have a wonderful holiday season.